Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again tonight with another episode of After the Buzzer. Before I get into anything about the game itself, I want to say prayers out to Giannis. If you did not know, in the third quarter of this game, Giannis left early with what looked like a really bad knee injury. I am not a doctor. I know literally nothing about ligaments like whatsoever, never taken a class on it, anything. So I'm not going to sit here and diagnose. I'm not going to tell you what I think the injury is because my opinion, to be honest, doesn't matter. I don't know at all what it is. Well, only time will tell how long Giannis is out, but he ended up leaving this game in that third quarter after what, to me, looked like a really bad hyperextended knee. Like I said, I don't know much about knees. I don't know much about injuries at all, but knees aren't supposed to move like that. Giannis is an absolute trooper because he went back to the locker room and tried to come back out and chill on the bench with his teammates. It just was too much pain. He did manage to walk off under his own power, which I'm hoping is a good sign. I know players have walked off with some really bad injuries before. I'm just praying it's different this time and that he's actually okay. I really want to see him come back in this series, and I really want to see him help these Bucks make a finals run, maybe even a run to the title. I want to see Giannis play. And really, that's what I've missed most about these NBA playoffs. These playoffs have been phenomenal. There have been a lot of great moments in these playoffs, but something that's really sucked is that for some reason, this NBA season is cursed. I don't know what's going on between Giannis getting hurt. Trae Young did not play in this game. He was out after that just freak injury with him and the referee where he stepped on the referee's foot. That was not really that much of the referee's fault, by the way. I know some people are really mad at that ref. He was in a spot that referees typically are. It was just a freak accident on just overall both sides. But between Trae Young and Giannis in this series, Chris Paul missing time with COVID and with that shoulder injury in the first round series against the Lakers, who are missing Anthony Davis, the Jazz missing Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell dealing with injuries, Jamal Murray being out the entire playoff run for the Nuggets, Kawhi Leonard being gone for the Clippers. Every single team up to this point has dealt with some major injury, and at this point, it kind of just feels like whoever wins the title is going to be whichever team gets out of the conference finals alive. There have been a ridiculous amount of injuries, and some of them do have to do with how packed together the schedule is, but also other ones just feel like they were freak incidents. Like they weren't like wear and tear type injuries. They were just weird circumstances. And I don't know what it is about this NBA season. Maybe it actually is cursed. Maybe that joke that I made saying that this season is cursed is actually true. Who knows? Maybe for some reason the NBA had to sell their soul to get the bubble. I don't know. But it just sucks as a basketball fan and as a person. You hate to see these people. This is the game that they love. I love basketball. And if I had dealt with an injury, knocking on my desk right now, knocking on wood that nothing like that happens, but dealing with an injury, that would kill me. I don't know what I would do because I love playing basketball so much. And I know these guys love it because they work so hard at it. And it's their job. It's what they love. And so to see so many guys have to sit out with injuries really sucks and hurts as both a basketball fan and as a person. These are all great guys. I just made a video earlier today talking about Giannis, talking about why I'm a huge fan of his, why I don't understand why people hate on him. He's humble. He works really hard. He comes from really humble beginnings, trying to make a name for himself and trying to push his team now to an NBA title, trying to establish a resume as one of the greatest of all time already at the age of 26. He should have finished out tonight's game, and he should have the opportunity to keep playing. I'm praying that he is okay, that it was somehow somehow he's all right. It did not look like a good injury. But I've seen weirder things happen where guys look like they should be out for a year, and they come in and play again anyways later in the series. If he's not back in the series and the Bucks end up winning, hopefully he's back for the finals. And if he's not able to play in these playoffs, I'm just praying it's nothing too bad to keep him out for any time next season. That was my little rant about how this NBA season is cursed. It just sucks, man. I don't know. It's been a weird season. We are living in a very weird NBA timeline up to this point, and continuing with that weird NBA timeline, you would think with Trae Young out and with Giannis at least starting the game, the Bucks probably would have won this game, or at least it's a close one where after Giannis gets injured, the Bucks go on a big run, or the Hawks go on a big run, which did happen, and ultimately the Hawks just barely pull away and win this. That was not the case. The Hawks were in control this entire game, and it wasn't really ever even close. It was close for a little bit around the time that Giannis went down, but ultimately the Hawks just went on a crazy run, and it was never even close after Giannis ended up going down. And even in that first half, the Bucks were just getting destroyed. They were down 13 at half to a Hawks team without Trae Young. And a lot of that goes to Lou Williams. I said when this trade happened, Lou Williams to the Hawks for Rajon Rondo, I said the Hawks won this trade. Rondo's cool, but Rondo showed a lot of signs of kind of regression, and Lou Williams is still a guy I believe to get buckets, and that was something the Hawks needed off their bench. They've got Gallo, they've got Kevin Huerter, but they really need that like playoff tested bucket getter off their bench, and Lou Williams played the Trae Young role to almost perfection. Obviously, he's not the playmaker that Trae Young is, nor is he the scorer, but he did a great job of replicating the way that Trae Young operates this offense. He did exactly what Trae Young does. He would get in pick and rolls, or he would attack the basket, look to throw the lob, and if the lob wasn't there, he was throwing up a floater or attacking the basket somehow, also looking every now and again to kick out to a shooter. Lou Williams was fantastic tonight. He put the Hawks on his back a lot of this game, and he was super efficient. He was scoring all over the court. He looked like the Lou Williams of old that we've seen with 21, 5, and 8 when Trae Young went down. That's what big-time players do, and that's what Lou Williams did. It was a great game from him. Clint Capella ended up taking a shot to the face at the end of this game. Another example of how these playoffs and this NBA season as a whole is just cursed. Hopefully he's okay. It was towards the end. I don't know why he was still in the court. At that point, the Bucks had put all their bench warmers out there, so I don't know why Nate McMillan kept Clint Capella out for that long. Hoping he's okay and that he's able to continue playing. It just looked like a bad shot. He did go back to the locker room, but like I said, the game is basically over anyways, so hopefully that doesn't mean too much. But Clint Capella, he had a fadeaway jumper from behind the backboard. If you did not see it, please go look that up. It was kind of ridiculous, and that was just kind of the night it was for the Hawks and for the Bucks on the other end. The Bucks, no matter what they did, the Hawks were just making it happen. They were hitting some really tough shots, and the Bucks just could not score, especially in the half court. In the half court, the Bucks looked lost. They had that big game the other night. They just destroyed the Hawks. And then they come out tonight, and it looks like they have no idea what they're doing. Going up against a team without Trae Young, who has killed them and been one of the best players in the entire playoffs this year. And they had no idea what to do. It was like they were just shell-shocked. They were like, oh, Trae Young's not here, we're going to be fine. And they sleptwalked through the first half, and all of a sudden at halftime, they're like, oh, we're down 13 points. And then just couldn't make up the difference by the end of the game. It's like they didn't know that Trae... It just seemed like they thought they were going to sleepwalk their way through this game, and you can't do that. Mike Budenholzer, I'm going to continue to say it, even if the Bucks win the finals, even if Giannis doesn't come back and the Bucks win the finals, Mike Budenholzer should be fired. He should not be this team's coach anymore. They never look prepared to start a game. It looks like they have no idea what they're doing at most of the starts of these games, and that puts them in a hole a lot of the time. I feel like almost every game in this series, the Hawks have started off up big. Other than maybe one game. And even throughout all of the playoffs, other than that Miami Heat series, I don't know what the hell happened there. Greg Popovich's spirit possessed Mike Budenholzer or something, or Mike Budenholzer and Greg Popovich just did a parent trap thing where they switched bodies. I don't know what was going on there. But ever since then, in the Nets series and especially in this series, the Bucks a lot of times just look lost. This should not be a tied series. The Bucks should have won this game and they should be up 3-1. Obviously, I'm not going to give the Bucks too hard of a time because Giannis did go down, but with the way the Hawks were playing, even if Giannis plays, I still think the Hawks win this game. They were just, even without Trae Young, the better team tonight. And that can't happen. The Bucks should be winning this series. The Bucks are the better team. If Giannis is out, that changes completely. If Giannis is out, I think the Hawks probably end up winning the series. Then again, I don't want to say anything because at this point, everything I've predicted about these games, every time a player goes down with injury and I'm like, oh, the other team should just steamroll them now, that whoever lost that star just ends up winning the next 6 games or something like that. It's ridiculous. I don't know how the NBA works apparently, despite watching a lot of basketball, but the Hawks are in a pretty solid position now. They just need to win 2 of 3, and they did it against Philly. They can do it against this Milwaukee team because this Milwaukee team just doesn't seem to know what to do most of the time. Budenholzer should be gone. A lot of this was also on the Bucks. Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton had all right games, but they weren't as efficient as they needed to be. And with Giannis going out, they needed to score a lot more. Chris Middleton got kind of hot towards the end, but Jrue's got to be better. He's got to do a better job as well of shutting them down defensively. Jrue Holiday is a great defender, but a lot of times he just kind of looked lost tonight, especially guarding Lou Williams. And Lou Williams is very crafty. He got so many bucks to bite on his pump fakes. It was ridiculous. I don't know what it is about the Lou Williams pump fake, but that is the dirtiest pump fake in the entire league. Just apparently no one can stop it. The Bucks only put up 88 points tonight. That pretty much should tell you all you need to know about the way that the Bucks played, with the Hawks putting up 110 without Trae Young. That's really the story of this game. The Bucks couldn't make any offense in the half court, and they couldn't get out in transition because the Hawks were hitting shots. So the Bucks were just shut down. Going into Game 5 of this series, the Bucks need Giannis back. If Giannis isn't playing, they've got to make some crazy game plan. This is going to be the biggest test for me of Mike Budenholzer. If Giannis does not play, what game plan will he put in place to emphasize the Bucks' strengths without Giannis on the court to try and give them the best chance of winning despite lacking an MVP? What do? Maybe they go 5 out and they try to just put up a lot more threes. They don't have that attacking threat in Giannis, so maybe they emphasize a little more spacing. What will they do without Giannis's defense? Who will they use to replace that? There's a lot of interesting ways they can go in this series, but Mike Budenholzer just has to figure it out. And to be honest, I don't trust him to do that. If Giannis is out, I'm going to say it now, the Hawks win in 6. And the Hawks are 2 games away from making their first conference finals, and they got the biggest win of this entire series of the last however many years of their franchise without their best player. That's what good teams do. That I've been saying it all year. Championship teams can win tough games without their best player. This is what they did. The Hawks are a championship caliber team. I really did not expect to be saying that. These playoffs, Hawks keep proving me wrong. Shout out to Lou Williams. Shout out to the Hawks. Cam Reddish had a great game, by the way. Coming back off of injury. Shout out to him. Big fan of his. The Bucks got to be better. Mike Budenholzer should be fired. And this NBA season is cursed. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know what you thought of all of these. Let me know what you think of all these storylines. Hopefully Giannis is able to come back. Let me know what you thought of the Hawks without Trae Young. Is Lou Williams just Trae Young like light or something like that? Do you think the Hawks are going to win this series? And who do you have winning the NBA Finals right now? Because we've got a Series 3-2 and a Series 2-2 at this point. What are you thinking? Appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you guys later. Real One Say Back.